Your student says that they understand something and they probably believe it, but there's a gap. This is the thing that drives parents, tutors, teachers absolutely nuts. They sit with the student, they explain a concept, and the student says that they understand it. The student then goes to do the problem or an example or practice or the homework by themselves, and they get completely lost. This wasn't because the student was lying. This is because there's a huge difference between understanding something in the moment when someone's explaining it and then doing something on your own. The difference is this. One is active and one is passive. If you are listening to someone explain something to you, that's a passive activity. If you are doing something on your own, that's an active activity. So here are some ways to help your student understand something really so that they can be successful on whatever they're going to do next. After you explain something to a student, ask them to verbalize it back. Again, this makes the activity active. They were listening, which is passive. Then say, can you explain what I just said to you? Even if they explain it in the exact same words, they're using language and they're making connections in the brain. This is an active process. When you're done with a problem, the next way to do it, or can you give me an example problem that is similar to the one that we just did? This asks them to reflect back on what they just did and what types of problems that we had. So I had a student yesterday, we were doing scatter plots and we were talking about correlations, positive, negative, no correlations. We talked a lot about positive correlations and I said to the student, can you give me an example of a negative correlation? And she sat there for a long time. We want to leave them sitting. Let them sit, let them reflect, let them think about what they're doing. This is called productive struggle, and we've talked about this before. She sat there and thought about it for 60 seconds, and she kept waiting for me to rescue her. I didn't rescue her. I went back and I said, let me explain positive correlation again. Positive correlation is when this happens. And then she thought about it again and she was able to make that. That is an active movement part. She was processing, reflecting, thinking in her brain and making those connections. So when you are done explaining something to a student, do not expect that they can go and then reproduce it. Make sure that they're playing an active role in their learning by thinking, reflecting, saying back and verbalizing what they just learned. This will help them in their learning process.